Hello everyone and welcome to today's Television 2 video. Today I have an amazing game for you, or at least I hope it is, but it is a decently long one and it is between two fantastic players that we haven't seen in over a month at least, Mimile and Koenig. So both great players and I think both have been neglected recently on this channel, so it's time that we get them back on here and yeah, they have a game against each other, so what's better than that? Now, before we dive into that, though, I just quickly do want to make two quick announcements. The first one is, or the second one actually has to do with the tournament. The first one is regarding feedback. So, under the last cast that came out on this channel, someone had actually provided very thoughtful and detailed comment with feedback, which kind of made me think a little bit, and I do want to once again put out and to note that the word that if you guys want to provide some feedback on what you like, what you don't like, what you see improved in the future, please do let me know under any video on my Discord and everywhere. Really, it is very much appreciated. If some of you want to go back and read that comment and kind of see if you agree with the commenter's take or my answer to it, then feel free to do so and let me know either on my Discord or in the comments there as well. Because again, I think this is a very good starting point for a discussion. So if you feel like you're not happy with everything the way it is, but still watching, of course, because otherwise you wouldn't hear this, feel free to check it out there and share your opinion on this. Now, the second is a tournament. I'm hosting my own tournament. It's over on the FOBHQ Discord. Link will be in the description down below. This time for real from the start. I forgot it last time, but I will not forget it this time. Yeah, so the rules are relatively, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but basically it is that you have to leave 2 or 3 tabs empty in your deck. You can choose on your own which ones that are, and yeah, it just should make for some fun and interesting games. So that's that. Now to this game though, we have Mimile versus Koenig, both on Maverick Income. So for this monthly, the rules were that you had a list of divisions, and we're fighting on the southern front. It's not just the Western European southern front, it's also in the Eastern European part, but you can only choose those divisions. Yeah, it's Axis versus Allies, of course. So usually player 1 picks Allies, so I guess Mimile was player 1 here. He picked New Zealand, and Koenig countered with first Fallschirmjäger, which is an interesting choice for this map, I think, but we're going to get into that, I think, right now by looking at the decks. And we start off with first Fallschirmjäger. This division, to me, seems like a very odd choice. I'm not saying that it is bad, per se. You have some very good tools in it for this matchup, I think, but overall, like, the armor is just really not what you want for this map, and the infantry is pretty good, but most of the things that you have are more range oriented, and that's not a bad thing, but you have not a lot of mid-range and closer range things, which you also need on this map. So it's a little bit surprising. But anyway, we're going to get to the recon tab. We do have the Fallschirmjäger Spähtrupp and then the Fallschirmjäger Panzerabwehr. Very reasonable, of course, in this matchup, and towns in general, of course, very useful. In the tab, we have a leader candidate MG42, which is nice because then you have something cheap. A lot of CQC with the Sturmpioneer and Stoßtrupp, and then the Fallschirmjäger FG42. And in B phase, we have just Pioneer and Fallschirmjäger CF. Now at 35 point, which is absolutely cracked. And then some Fallschirmjäger FG42 in C phase to round it up. Pretty nice mix there. Tank tab, of course, you only have Tigers. He brings one in A and one in B phase. There's not really much else you can do here, really. Support tab, no machine guns at all. A lot of 2K, though, with the Stu 42 in A phase and the LG42 in B phase. The LG42 definitely can help against those Shermans and such. And I mean, for a decent price as well. So definitely nothing to complain there. And then just Flamethrower Stück M42. Support version though, which does not have a ton of pen, and then the IG-18. AT tab, even more Panzerschreck. So Koenig, I guess that's Koenig's strategy here for dealing with all that armor. Just use Panzerschrecks everywhere. I'm not really sure how he wants to push that though, because then he kind of relies on these Shermans getting too close to those Panzerschrecks. So that's probably a serious limitation. However, I mean, if Mimile uses a lot of them, then Koenig can just kind of win by the trades, I think. Pack 177, which is pretty good. I mean, it's the Italian 47 mil this thing is fantastic. Pack 40 Nashorn, more Panzerjäger, of course, as I already said. And a Pupchen in B-phase is pretty fantastic, so not a closer range, but this one has definitely a bit more range. And then a Pack 43, I'm not really sure if you really need that together with the Nashorn and the Tigers, but I guess Koenig decided that, yeah, he needs it. AA tab, nice mixer of the SKF Z72, 88s, some 20 mils, and more SKF Z72s. Utterly fantastic with the Radio 120. You all know how I shit on 120s all the time, but the Radio 120 is undebatable. This one is pretty fantastic, actually. Battery, Führer, and then the 149 is also pretty decent. AirTab, Sagittario, and then the ME410. Now, this is surprising. It is the one with the lighter bomb loadout with a lot of small bombs. I always feel like these are bad, or maybe this one is actually good, because I mean, Koenig uses it and Koenig loves his airplane. So if he brings a plane, it is probably a good plane. I have to say that. Switching over to Second New Zealand. This is also a really fun division, very unique, and actually quite fun to play. The big problem with it is it is so slow. It has slow transports all run except for the few things that it can bring in jeeps, and that is just generally a really big problem with this division, because otherwise it has a lot of good tools and has a lot of very fun units. So looking at V8, do have the Maori scouts. I'm actually surprised that he doesn't bring the recon units with radio, but I guess those you cannot bring with the 50 cal transporter. He's bringing them in, so that might be the reason why he brings the Maori scouts. I don't actually know. I haven't checked. Then Staghound, of course, for a little bit of good early game potential. The 50 cal carrier, this thing is pretty good. I mean, it's 10 points. It's basically like the Karadushka in the Soviet divisions. This thing is a menace. It is just a 50 cal half track basically, but you only pay 10 points for it. I mean, yeah, it's slower, but who cares? Once it is there, it absolutely shreds. It's of course not as efficient because you cannot bring it as a transport, but this thing pretty useful for only 10 points. You get a unit that can pretty well suppress things. It can also stop things super well, spot things super well with the recon. In the time, we do have the motorized rifles, but not in the half track, unfortunately. We have one of the Greek leaders, the Maori, a pretty fantastic unit. It's kind of a hybrid unit. It's not a bad one. And at the way, it really does the job super well. Then we have the Katadromis, which is a very chunky CQC unit. It's a decent one. It's not fantastic, but it's pretty decent. Field engineers in B phase, more Maori, and then the Oplites or Oplites in C phase. I think this, if I remember correctly, is really just basically a rifle's Piat without the Piat, but you get radar on top of it. Maybe a machine gun or so is different, but I'm not gonna dive into that in too much detail. Tank tab, Stuart, Shermans. It is just Shermans, which is okay. Of course, having more things is better, but you don't need, like, the Sherman is all you need basically. Like, what you really need. And it does the trick well, although he doesn't bring that many, so I'm a bit surprised about that. I guess he's really afraid of all that AT that Koenig gets to bring, and I think he's aware of that by the looks of it, because he could definitely bring more, or he just doesn't really want to use that many of them to begin with. I don't really know what the thought process there was, but still a little bit surprising. But then again, as I think he probably relies more on those 50 cal carriers, because it just doesn't need that many Shermans. You need a few of them to be there, do their thing, but they're mostly facing Tigers, which they can't really do much against them. And for the few lighter vehicles that we've seen, the Sherman can do the trick, but you shouldn't lose too many of them anyway, if you use them correctly. So I guess that's probably the thought process there. Then in the support tab, you get the Staghound Mark II. It's just a 1500 meter HE Staghound. Pretty fun though, pretty unique as well. It brings a double weight, which is very interesting. Then the Spandau HMG, I think that's a captured MG42 if I'm not mistaken. I think, yeah. Then Sherman 1B for 2K, Vickers in B phase to kind of make up for the lack of, I mean, he doesn't actually have that much infantry, just realized in B phase. So the Vickers, I guess, are going to fill that spot, because he only has 8 Maoris as his only line infantry. It's not a whole lot. And then Bedford supplies in B phase, AT tab, 6-pounders, a lot of 17-pounders, which is very reasonable. He mostly has to be afraid of Tigers. Wolverines, which definitely can do the trick as well of killing armor, and you still have the 50 cal. A tab, you have the Bofus, utterly 25-pounders. He brings the 107, which I'm surprised at. I always find it very underwhelming, but maybe at double star it is actually the thing. So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. You get the Spitfire Recon with arms. in the air type, which is pretty nice as well. Then he brings Baltimore and the Bowfighter for all his air goodness. And here we are again on a Bobr, probably the least worst river map, because this one you can actually do play around a little bit. First of all, because you can basically cross everywhere with your infantry. Now, most of the time you don't want to do this, but there's also enough crossings that, you know, it is somewhat possible to make some plays. So yeah, but still, of course, it can get stale very, very quickly, so you need to get across early in the game. This is usually how it goes. And so basically, red has the advantage here up here with that hill, that you can kind of overlook a lot of that city from here. There are also a lot of angles onto that hill, though, so it kind of goes both ways, but from my experience, usually if red can really get a hold of this, like establish itself up on the hill, it's really annoying for blue, and then this flag can kind of flip. Blue can get in here and pressure red. The reverse, I've not seen that much. Here, usually don't have any plays. Here, red can relatively safely get across early on. There's not that much to contest. This flag hardly ever flips the blue side. But this is where you usually see a lot of action, because this flag can actually relatively realistically be grabbed by the red side at the start. At the same time, this is a good flag to grab from blue, because once blue actually gets that hill, it basically gets this flag for free. This flag is easily recaptured. These are a little bit harder to grab, but red basically does not have a chance to get back in here. There's just too much open field, so easy to cover that off. It's also not so easy anymore to even try to apply pressure over here, because it's also not that easy to get across here anymore. It's just very, very rough for red side. So this is why I usually place focus there, and I think we're going to see this right here. So I think we're actually going to start and work ourselves up, because this is obviously where the action is going to be. So on the hill, we do have a stag hound. Is it aggressive? Yeah, it's kind of just in a position where I can cover off things here. It's pretty nice. 6-pounder also going up here, not deployed though, so just on the ready to be, I guess, positioned where it needs to be. 40 MG42 up here to cover this off, as well as some more scouts for the vision here, and the 50 cal halfback going down here also to force things off. Pretty nice actually use of the light armor. I've not thought of doing it that way specifically. Another MG42 covering this off. I haven't seen MG42s in here either. Interesting, very interesting. Leader to help, motorized rifles, and a staghound just to cover things. Oh, that's also very nice, because you can actually stop things pushing across here then. Because rushing up here is really hard, because blue is a little bit faster. This is very nice. A lot to learn there for myself. Hopefully for some of you as well, or maybe not hopefully, because that means you're already pretty good. You don't have to learn it, so that's probably better than hoping that you aren't. Down south we do have no push in here, just some flamers, Panzerschreck, and support weapons being set up over here to make sure that red can't push. Stück M42 also in a defensive position. Same thing up here, no actual push, just defensive deployments all around. Not a Panzerschreck right away. This is the cool thing if you bring so many Panzerschrecks, right? Yes, 4 Panzerschrecks in A phase together with the Fallschirmjäger Panzerabwehr, so there's 8 Panzerschrecks in total, Panzerschreck units in A phase, and then he still has more in a B phase, so he can really actually be aggressive with them early on. And it's not even aggressive, like he just uses them kind of in aggressive defensive positions, let's put it at that. I think that's the best description of it, and that's really useful. Okay, so it still goes into this, because of course otherwise the flag may flip. Same here, going defensive there. Panzerabwehr here as well. So just covering everything off with Panzerabwehr, which is very, very reasonable. Another one up here. This, I don't think it actually sees anything, right? Or maybe you can still see down here. I don't know. Maybe it's afraid it's rushed. He rushes up here. I don't know. What's the plan behind that? And then of course the large push, and I guess I kind of neglected Mimile there, but it's okay. I'm going to get to that in a second. So establish something up here. I guess that's probably IG8. No, IG10 up here for support. Something's going up here for support or vision or anything like that. Oh yeah, there we go. 177. Kind of covering this off, and the edge here as well. And of course, CQC infantry destroys, which is pretty good because it's kind of hybridy. And then on the other side, we do have, looked at that. We have the support staghound. Is it going over here? Both support staghounds, the other one over here. And then just some Maori and motorized rifles to hold things off. So both players basically go defensively down south. And up north, we do have a deployment here, but not super strong. And one in here that's a little bit stronger. We do have an early Sherman out as well. Second rushing up here, probably trying to stop that push. Mori scouts, same concept. And then Mori are just going to be a little bit too slow, probably. And I think we're going to start. I've already talked for long enough. But I definitely see some issues here, because this is actually, I don't think this is strong enough to stop that push right here. And, there we go. There's a Spitfire. I was wondering. I feel like there's not that many points spent on Mimile's side. But Mimile really has a problem, because his infantry is just too slow here. His infantry probably will also lose against the Fallschirmjäger overall. Although it does currently an MG42, so it's not actually any FG42s. Oh, look, one. Okay, that can be dealt with, but the Panzerjäger will also mean that it's relatively hard here to use a Sherman effectively to pin that infantry. Oh, he's strafing, trying to just stop that push. It seems to be not really working. Sagan might be able to snipe some things. Oh, but it gets shot. Oh, it's stuck on these. By the looks of it. Yeah, it's stuck on the H-18. The H-18 can also start killing it. Mori Scout starts unloading things. That's very key. That gives him some time. But I don't think he can still follow through with that push. The 177 will claim these Moris. That's, as I said, that's the problem with the slow deployment here, and the general infantry matchup, I think. I don't think Mimile is in a good spot to really hold this, and deployment doesn't really make it easy, because he doesn't put enough there. He's losing his push there. He lost his light armor. He lost his infantry unit there. He's gonna get, no, he's, they might get through. Spitfire trying desperately to do some strafing, but just not enough. There we go, one gets sniped, the other one gets out. It will grab the flag, while this flag is being grabbed as well. Sherman now trying to kill it off. Early Both is in, as he is probably afraid that something will chase his Spitfire very, very soon. As the set 7-2 in to block that off. This is the right call here, right? If you have that vision, that recon, you need to block that off immediately, because it is so valuable, that the information you get from it. Plus, it also means that if that plane is unbothered, your opponent then knows that he can send another one. And the next one's going to come with bombs. Yeah, see, there we go. He knows that he can do it now, because, of course, the SX-72 needs some time to arrive. This flag grabbed just by extension of with these units, because there's nothing here that can actually affect the front line. Turns out, basically nothing has happened. Baltimore getting in there. Bombs going off, only killing the Strumpanier as Koenig spread in time. So Mimile is having a hard time there. 42 is moving down south to try and stop this. This has no, yeah, this doesn't have a 50 cal. It also doesn't fire super fast. So the FG42 in the yellow forest might actually be able to walk up to it and kill it. Oh, it's not even trying to do that. Okay. Oh, but the Stryker M42 can definitely deal with the Staghound Mark II, and the Staghound Mark II cannot deal with the Stryker M42. There we go. Sherman is now being shifted, but Panzerabwehr is being brought into position. Might be able to claim a victim here. Mori Scouts has been falling back. Stoßtrupp could kill that off if it moves forward, but of course you don't want to do that right now, because there's too much armor there. Panzerabwehr. Oh, I think it revealed itself against the Mori Scouts. Yeah, it did. So it revealed itself from started blasting. So it's 11 for Mimile actually with this flag, but it's not going to be a long-term grab. And now we have a Pack 40 position here to deal with that Sherman. I think it's spotting it even. Line of sight tool looks like it. I guess we can see parts of it. Yeah. Oh wow, that's very. I've never known about this spotlight here. I mean this, yeah. Yeah, okay, because I guess he just wanted to move it. I was just surprised that you can actually see from there, but it wasn't deliberate. So that's what I was interested in, because I did not think of that. Mori versus Strumpanier, it is hybrid, but it is still not a CQC unit. And against a Strumpanier, especially after the MP40 buff, definitely not going to trick. I mean, the Mori also got better because of that, but not by enough. It's pretty dead that. Sagittaria coming in for strafing and stopping that Spitfire, but the Bofus is in position, I was going to say. Kills the Spitfire, though. I mean, as long as Koenig doesn't really need that Sagittaria, other than points, which is a little bit favored for Mimile, but not by a lot. Koenig probably got more out of that because the recon is probably more valuable if Koenig does not rely on that fighter to do other AA duty. That's a crucial point there. So that might still be quite balanced. FG42 versus motorized rifles, there is a cover difference, but there's also a loadout difference, and a quite significant ones. Look at that, the motorized rifles just barely won. That's how strong the FG42s are. Mori here though, yeah, gets killed off. Panzerwehr opens up on the motorized rifles. Motorized rifles have to hide behind the building. Is he turning off auto cover? No, he's not. He's hopping back in, but hasn't been spotted yet. Maybe that will do the trick. Meanwhile, Mimile trying to kind of reinforce here a little bit. But for not really all that heavily. I mean, he knows that he's in a good spot there. Oh, the 107 is being used very close. And I guess then it's probably pretty decent, actually. It's like the 120s that I've experienced from Curb in our recent game. Once it's very close, these things, you know, the accuracy is not that bad then, and then they're actually pretty deadly. Nothing really happening down south. Leader coming in over here. So neither player really trying to reinforce much. We do have a 25-pounder coming, so it looks like Mimile is planning to do something in this area eventually, and he wants to soften it up with some artillery. 25-pounder here as well. But yeah, I mean, it definitely looks so far like the speed difference was a very deciding factor, and that really matters, of course, like in general, but especially also on this map, because it's so easy to kind of intercept these light armored units with AT in the right spots, and of course you need to get across, right? So speed in that regard really matters much more than usually, because even if you... Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets to get across, right? It's always harder to push later on because the opponent had time to reinforce. But I think in this case, it's even worse than usual. Motorized rifles are going to get surrendered here. It's pretty big because this means this flag flips. Oh no, reconnected the line because that would have been pretty huge. Even if this flag would have been regrabbed, this would have flipped, and that would have been 13-11 for Mimile that he probably wants. Katadromis absolutely gets wiped by the Sturmpio. Wow. I guess that was cover difference. Yeah, I guess I probably counted. Panzerwehr moving in, probably going to kill off that Steward. Motorized rifles just trying to move in the safe spot. There we go. Steward goes down. It's looking bleak here for Mimile. He's struggling to hold this, and it won't last forever. Baltimore is in again. The SKF Z72 is not in a position where he can stop it. I mean, if Mimile can just soften this up enough and kind of outtrade Koenig there, he's going to be able to get back in eventually. But the problem is Koenig has such good infantry for this. And the Mori is kind of hybridy, but it's just not really that good for that specific thing. It's basically really good compared to other, you know, Commonwealth units. Otherwise, for range, it's meh, because it is hybrid at the end of the day. It's not a bad hybrid unit, though. It's not a bad unit overall. Stu 42 being targeted by the 20. Oh, no. They're going after this blob of support and AT weapons, which have been forced off, though. Motorized rifles cannot grab the flag anymore as the Pak 177 has moved into this position right here. Strostrup now coming in to clear this out finally. Still nothing happening down south. 6-pounder still just chilling here, not doing anything. 25-pounder here. Also, oh, this one is going after Stu 42, so it's actually used to prepare a push over here. But we're now slowly pushing forward, so the push is being prepared. Another Baltimore in, so that's the second one, I think. Mimile investing into his Air Force. Might hit. No. It did some damage, but not really a whole lot. Strostrup found the motorized rifles, and the Stug M42 helps. Motorized rifles get wiped. This flag also flipped. 14-10 now for Koenig. And you need to be very careful not to say Mimile and Koenig in the wrong way, because I'm so used to Koenig being on the Western Allied side. So, and I don't actually know if he really loves the French. I don't actually know if he likes New Zealand, but he definitely is more of a Western Allies enjoyer in general. So wouldn't be surprised. That doesn't mean that Mimile doesn't play them. I don't actually know what Mimile's favorite faction / division. Division, I know. I think it's 20th Panzer, but I'm not really sure if Axis is or Germans are his favorite faction. Still not much happening down south. I think at least I can't remember just from a quick look that much has changed. No, it didn't. Trying to look a little bit more on the mini-map to decide whether it's actually worth looking somewhere else. Doesn't mean that we might not miss action, right? Because something like not moving in doesn't necessarily mean that nothing is happening, but it's kind of a little bit of an indication how much players are focusing on it. It's much easier with a game that is kind of slow in one area, fighting only as well, than when everything is happening everywhere. Then this is really hard to get. Keep an eye on that. See, this I heard the sound. I was like, something's going to be happening here. So artillery is trying to soften this up. So I guess Mimile is just looking for an easy flag here by hoping that if he can kill that off, this will just flip to him, which is not because Koenig has things in here. But if he's going to be able to just walk in with the Mori, he's going to get that flag. Spitfire providing a recon, and there is no AA down there. Meanwhile, 25 here just continues to go after the armor here, but it's now moving. 107 is out of ammo already. Still a lot of units here alive, so, and Mimile doesn't really have the troops here to push. We have a Katadromis MX. Is that the leader? Is that just a regular Katadromis? Moving in. But I can't really do much here. This is too strong. This is definitely too strong. We have a Tiger in down south as well. That's going to be a bit of a problem. 6-pounder, if it moves in the right spot, can definitely deal with that. Sagittario now coming in, and there's no way. There's a Bofus coming in. Never mind. Mimile turns around as he is afraid of this being a bait, and it definitely would have been kinda. I'm not really sure if it was planned, but I think Koenig well knew that the Bofus was on the way. He did not forget that. It would probably just have unloaded it earlier if the Sagittario hadn't turned. Yeah, see, this is now focused, but these are still alive, so... but that definitely was Mimile's plan by the looks of it. Soften these things, these two spots up, or kill what's there probably, then get into that flag, and be good with it. Sagittario moving away 20 mil here. It will eventually stop that Spitfire. Spitfire trying to get on the back of it. What's the speed difference of these two? I think this one is pretty fast, if I'm not mistaken. 620, yeah. Not too bad. 20 mil now just, for now, just tickling it. And 42 just pushing through. Really bold, but there's nothing here to stop. A 70-pounder actually has a fast transport. That's very good, but can't do much just yet. 6-pounder in a very nice position here. The problem is it's going to get spotted here by these eventually, and he cannot hold the bridge yet. And as he moves into position, he's probably gonna get spotted. There we go. 6-pounder though, opening up. An APCR distance too. Might be able to kill that Tiger. Misses. And it's not even... It's not a bit suppressed yet. Loader wounded. Not the crit that he wanted probably. And now we have 50 cal carrier coming in as we have reached B phase quite a while ago actually. 1311 still. This flag now re-grabbed by the leader. So it was the Katadromis MX. I just wasn't sure what the MX meant, but I guess that's just in the regular name then. Trying to hold this, not really a range unit though. Baltimore now going after this. That should definitely be able to kill that Mori. Moving into then secure the flag, bring it back to 12-12. In terms of traits, I'm not actually sure. I think Mimile has had some success with his artillery, but he's also lost a lot here. Koenig's definitely been doing better in this area, and here I think Koenig is outtraining Mimile at the moment. Oh, Wolverine goes down. But Mimile has a lot of artillery, and Koenig is not really pushing him off anywhere. So I think Mimile has a lot of potential right now to really outtrade Koenig and do a lot of damage. So the question is really just how much advantage can Koenig take out of Mimile's investments. If we can really take advantage out of it and get some ground, then it might not be looking so good for Mimile. But if Koenig can actually manage to... But if Mimile can stall Koenig for long enough, he will really crank up the traits with his artillery and his planes. Moray now coming in with the 88. Up north, the 107 has been resupplied, I guess. Yeah, there's a better water supply. It's now going after 25 pounder. So Mimile just constantly working on this. Koenig bringing grabbing the 1311 once again though, with now grabbing this flag down south. There's not much there to stop it. There's Wolverines, there's Stewards. It's a 17 pounder here. Not a whole lot of infantry. Which can work if the armor can bully the infantry enough. Could also go wrong. It really depends. Wolverine here needs to be careful. But there's no Panzerschreck, so that's in that. Oh no, there's a Panzerwehr coming in. So yeah, if it gets too close, it might just pop out and get a shot off and be done with it. Mori coming in defensively though. But also needs to turn because this thing has a super. I've actually didn't know that, but this thing has a super slow turret rotation. It is otherwise a fantastic tank. Like, Wolverines are great, but you need to be aware of the turret rotation. Because right now, it's gonna suck hard. Smoke being thrown for the FG-42 to be able to move past... No, not even... They couldn't even see it, I don't know. But yeah, the 50 cal is engaging now. Mori versus FG-42, that's way different. Yeah, this thing has two MG-34s. This thing will actually slap. 25 pounder now opening up on that. And I mean, this is really nice. He doesn't have radio though. No, he does not. That's a bit of an issue. Because otherwise he could definitely do a lot of damage here. But Koenig being bunched up here is very dangerous. Because of course it's easy for Mimile to get some value out of his artillery and planes. They have two Sagittarius now coming in. Just try to strafe that Staghound. I mean, they can definitely pin it. Maybe I don't actually know. It's not open top, so I don't actually know if the 20 mils do any damage to ground vehicles. I have not tried this enough because usually quite a few passes to actually really kill something, even if it's open top. We've seen this actually quite a while ago, but I remember this. Vampiro versus who was that? Vampiro versus someone on Tannenberg. This much I remember. And I think it's his opponent that actually tried that with, yeah, just to strafe open top vehicles, and it worked. I didn't know that. Pretty fantastic. Oh, Maori reveals itself, gets, ooh, yeah, absolutely shred. 20 mil opening up as well. It's actually going to go down, I think. Yeah, there we go. Let's see, up north. 107 and 25 pounder working overtime support, nicely being shifted back and forth. Now, if we have the field engineers coming in, trying to do a little push here, which is pretty nice. Panzerwehr here kills the Staghound, of course. And the Mori is just working a little bit on that, but it's... Nothing's decided up here, and it doesn't really look like Mimile is any closer to grab this hill back. Koenig has actually brought another SKF Z7-2 in up here to stop the Baltimore rushes over there. Now, down south... Actually, I think for now, we can leave it at that. And south, I still actually need to look at it. It's also everything stacking up, otherwise it's hard to see what actually happens. It looks like the Wolverine here died. No, it's been shifted away back here. It's more of a defensive position, which is definitely reasonable. Baltimore still gets the bombs off. It actually, look at how far back it has. It can be to yeet those bombs forward. Actually pretty amazing. Oh, what a massive hit. The M42 goes down. The Panzerwehr goes down. Sagittarius is gonna get on the back of it. Wait, what? Bofors didn't stop it? Now it's sailing away. It was flying over the Bofors. And there's a second one. With a leader. Yeah. I think that might be a little bit of an overinvestment. I think one Bofors would probably do the trick. Another Baltimore coming in. I think that's... I have to imagine it's a misclick. No. Okay, interesting. Probably not going to get on. There's not that much here that can actually kill it. But if the 20 mils start stacking up, then eventually they can kill. The Baltimore, I think, is only medium resilience, if I'm not mistaken. It is fast. Especially considering it's bomb loadout, but still. Oh, 25 pounder goes down. What was that? Was that counter battery? Was that this? But there was an artillery piece here. Must have been. It's not going after anything at the moment, though. But I really don't know what else it could have been. Another one being called in right away. 6-pounder also being called in here defensively. I mean, this is the problem now for Koenig. Mimile knows exactly what's in here. He knows what's coming. So he can set up nicely a 17-pounder here. He can have 6-pounder there. It's in APCR range too. The Wolverines can pen the Tigers too. It's not ideal. The odds are not very good, but it is possible. Oh, Fallschirmjäger gets spotted by the Tiger and is not in a range where he can actually shoot back. Otherwise, would have been a great position for a flanking shot, actually. Not a 25-pounder coming in, so Mimile still very determined on winning the RT1. He has definitely has the better tools for that. Now, the 149 is, of course, better, but he has so many 25-pounders, he can do so much more damage in different spots, and he can also just overwhelm the 149s, really. So in terms of total artillery amount, Mimile definitely has more. But again, it's just spamming 25-pounders versus the 149 is also not necessarily the best plan. And the second recon Spitfire goes down, so no more recon by Mimile or for Mimile. Something else just died here. Was that a Tiger? No, it was just a 20mm car. I just saw something there in the corner of my eyes and remember that there used to be a Tiger here somewhere. Speaking of, did that die as well? That is not the Tiger. No, that's a Street Gun 42. We've seen that one. Took us, I guess one of these was the Tiger. Oh yeah, no. Hold on. No, it was this one, I think. Yeah, the one with the loaded wounded, probably. With 11 still. Field Engineers here did get in. This one not, or it probably didn't, then lost against Shrimpire. Very realistic. Now we have Operators coming in to try and re-grab this, but this is a tough one. There's a lot here. Quite a lot, actually. Supply is almost empty, 107 still going for it, but the problem is there's too much up here. German Wolverine coming in, that can definitely help. But it's not going to solve the fundamental problem there. One of the Baltimores might, but there's an STF Z72 there. There's now an 88 up there as well. Tiger versus M3 scout car. It's not a good fight for the scout car. Looks like a 50 kill carrier got killed. There's tons of these now everywhere. Like look at we had one here. There's two here. No, it's actually none up north. No, there's one up north. These things are super annoying, and I mean it's pretty good actually to stop these Fallschirmjägers. An expensive Fallschirmjäger unit stopped by this 10-point unit that it just cannot get past. Pretty strong actually. One of the reasons why I think with how cheap armor is and how important light armor is these days, I think it was very reasonable to drop the price of very expensive units like the FG40. The Fallschirmjäger CF. Though personally, if as soon as you go against infantry unit, it's insanely cheap for what it can do. 1410 for Koenig still. Or again, as he grabs this flag now. The more being forced back. Now we have the 120 down here. Oh, maybe that killed the 25-pound. That's also possible. And no, it does not. No, it has radio. It's going to be quite accurate going after the operators here. Or applied. I don't know. I don't know. If anyone is Greek speaking, let me know how you pronounce that. Oops, didn't want to do that. 25-pounders now opening up on the 88. So that means that Mimile probably has the Baltimores ready very, very soon. Because I think you must know that without radio range, he's not going to kill that. Realistically speaking. But, never mind, Baltimore's up north. Oh, goes down. Big loss right there. Really big loss. And there's two SKF Z72s, there's an 88, there's no getting through there. But the push here has started and is looking not too bad. The one Panzerschreck here could definitely stop all of this. Because once the steward gets killed, these units are... Oh no, I mean the Grenadier M242 is not that good compared to the Mori. Should lose. Now the Sherman is coming. That's going to be not an absolute beast. Poops are now coming in here just to stop any pushes, I guess. Now we have a row of 50 cal carriers. I mean, again, he has to be careful here, but they can definitely do the work there. 12-12 again. But we have another 149 in down south, and only the 120 has just been loaded up to be moved, I guess. Or a nice move there. Full ring can't stop all of this. Yeah, it also has to be aware of the tiger here, and of course the punch track is also moving up, which I don't think Mimile can see. But that's going to be a bit of a problem there. And again, Koenig has so many of them, he can use them really aggressively. Meantime, up north, push is going decently well. 88 is now opening up on a hope for Mimile. The Obliters and not the Sherman. I think it's going after... Oh no. Sherman's going after M42, but Sherman, no, it's backing off. So he's realized what danger he is in. Panzerschreck moving back in. Might be able to kill off the Steward. Might be able to actually get multiple kills here. Look at all those 50 kill carriers. Problem is, they can stop by the Piption and the 88 and whatnot. So I'm not really sure how much Mimile can actually benefit from them. So far it's looking not very good for Mimile. The problem is Mimile really needs to find a place where he can actually cross the river and do apply some pressure. Koenig is well dug in now, and Koenig has started, engaging in the RT war too. So it's not like Mimile just sitting there and trying to outgrind Koenig is not really this way to go for him anymore by the looks of it, because Koenig is actually better off now with the two 149s and the 120. Especially because these can, dominate the map pretty much wherever they are. Not the 120s, of course, but the 149s. And the 2500s are more localized, right? Because they need the radio. And they don't really... The accuracy really is not that good at range. Not good without radio to begin with, but especially at range. 88 goes down, though. I think that's also within radio range. No, it isn't. Oh, look at that blob just pushing through. Pipchin's moving into position. It's just going to get blasted. Once it reveals itself, no chance there. Drostrup, I mean, both these have radar, so I think the Koenig's going to be fine here. Pupchen got spotted. I don't think he killed anything. And now look at that. Poor thing. It's just going to absolutely blast it. Let's give that 7-2's on the run here. 42's moving in. If these units stay too close to the forage line, they will get killed by it. 50 cal carries here, opening up on the Drostrup. Should be able to kill it off. This pocket will collapse, but the Panzerschreck is still there. It's actually pretty dangerous. Meal. 25 pounders are going after the 149 now. They are pinning it. They're not really doing much. That's the problem with the 25 pounders for counter battery. They're really not that good. Push has been started down south finally, but it's not as strong as it used to be. There's no Tiger coming with it anymore. Actually, one has moved. Did it die? I got killed up here. Probably by the 17 pounder, I have to imagine. 242 needs to fall back. Pupchen here, I think it's... I don't know which of the two you can actually see. Both, if both can see it, I guess. There we go. Kills the Wolverine. That's actually the... I mean, this is the prize right here. The Wolverine can definitely kill the Stu 42. The Stu 42 can also one-shot the Wolverine. So, bringing him from a potential 2-on-1 versus a 1v1 is definitely much bigger. Now, the Stu 42 is damaged, which means that whoever hits first will kill the other. Mimile pushing back in here as well with the Steward, or I guess pushing across. It's now moving up here. The problem is this right here will mean that this will probably be cut off. But Panzerschreck will kill these field engineers that are really important to make sure that this front line here is held. Does Mimile notice? He does not. Oh, but the Bofus does. Bofus coming in absolutely clutch here. Koenig also doesn't notice, so I think the Panzerschreck's going to go down. I think that should save that push, because otherwise what would have happened is this bubble here would have collapsed due to the pressure of these guys, and this whole push here would have been for nothing, basically. This flag has been taken back by Mimile, by Koenig. Mimile's armor push not really lasting long, been quickly dismantled by all the units here. There's a Steward here that kind of got encircled, so that thing can actually do a lot of damage here, if Koenig can take advantage of it. Mimile, sorry. I mean, he could go after that, so that would be huge. He can try to take out the AA, that would also be huge. I think he only lost one Baltimore, which leaves 2 left. And we have another push in the center. Now, all of a sudden, things are happening. We have the push down here. That just got stopped, though. I think Mimile felt like he had the momentum now and just tried to push everywhere, but it's kind of breaking apart everywhere a little bit. Like this one was just not big enough. This push was not big enough. It definitely stopped a good push here from Koenig and did well. Did well in doing so. So that definitely was a good push. But oh, Tiger now in up close here. This leader does not have any bazooka. Kills a steward. I mean, no surprise, I think. This is one of the issues with this division, though. It's not, at least compared to other Commonwealth divisions, you do not have that much AT in your infantry. You have some diggers appeared. I think they're only A and B phase, though, and we haven't seen them here. And these are pretty useful, because you all know how good the Piat is, of course. It's not really... I mean, the Piat itself is not that good, but having 200-meter range, and at like Panzerschrecker range, it usually is pretty accurate, actually, due to the due to the distance, right? As accuracy increases at shorter distances, and but just the fact that all your infantry usually has them is pretty good, because you basically don't really pay an increase in price for it. You pay basically for your unit not being that good otherwise, but that's a small price to pay. Steward versus 242. That's very unlucky there for Mimile. He finally decided to use that Steward. He saw the opportunity, tried to use it, and unfortunately for him, Koenig has moved his 242. I'm not really sure if Koenig knew about this or if he just wanted to reposition to block this off. In either case, very unfortunate for Mimile. I feel for him there, because this thing could have done so much damage. Was so close to being an absolute unit, but fortunately did not work. Bofors versus Tiger here, not a good fight for the Bofors. Now, the AP of the 25 pounder is 120. And so they can definitely overpen the Tiger there. Puption getting a position, that can be very dangerous for the Sherman here. More 50 cal carriers coming in. There we go. What's the fire rate of these guys? 8 rounds a minute. So it's actually, oh yeah, look at that. Look at that thing go. Might have been my first time seeing a 25 pounder actually being used as AT. Vertical carrot doing some work here. So far, not convincing. It's running out of HE shell, actually. Bouncing again. I mean, you have to overpen at some point. It's 120 versus 125. Oh, there we go. Lands. So I guess oh yeah, it was hit by an APCR previously. So there we go. Finally gets the kill. Still 12-12. That's not good for Mimile, though. He needs to make up ground. And if you look at this map, like, look at how much blue there is. There's not that much red in comparison. And a lot of what Koenig has out here is very expensive. Koenig also has a secondary line of defense here, by the way. Or a line of defense. The 88 here. Moving into position. Still has defensive lines up here. Now if Fallschirmjäger CF pushing in, that will win against motorized rifles. As long as there's no armor getting involved, this thing will absolutely shred here. Sherman now pushing, another Sherman pushing in. 50 cal carries, running rampant here. Oh, they pinned the RT. If only they had killed it too. Mimile just wipes out one of these. This thing does not have any armor. Yeah, so it will die eventually to the 50 cal. But it does more damage to them than they do to the 20 mil. Wow, look at that. Panzerschreck coming in, they can definitely deal with that. There's not that much infantry to accompany those tanks, but a nice little aggressive push there. 30 land from Mimile now. I might have been just for the first time in this entire game, I feel like. So maybe Mimile's turning it around at this point. So I guess I don't know. I feel like I mean, Koenig also played it very, very well, but I almost feel like that my initial judgment on the second NC might be quite wrong, and first Fallschirmjäger. Now, I'm still not convinced on first Fallschirmjäger for this map. Might just be Koenig's magic or the specific matchup. But I think second NC, while good for the town areas, probably just the speed is really killing it. I think that might be the case here, because I mean, we've seen the deployment. Mimile really struggled getting an aggressive push-up. But also, I don't know. I think Mimile used some more expensive units in certain places. Like, I mean, the Staghound to stop pushes versus one Panzerschreck to stop pushes is just very different. Not very different, but it's a difference in price. And I think this has also been very noticeable. Koenig actually continues to push here. His infantry is slowly getting pinned. He has more of it though. Pupchen also moving in, trying to stop the armor up north. Looks like the Panzerschreck. No, he got in. Something else died. Oh, Panzerwehr finding a Sherman. Ooh, that hurts. FT42 is also not something to be underestimated, by the way, because it has a Panzerfaust. He can kill these. Gets too close. Not sure. I think he could have just tried to play hide and seek around these houses. Then he probably could have gotten into position. But they, of course, couldn't know that Koenig Mimile was just pushing through. But now the line here is collapsing. So, and the Panzerschreck is moving in as well. Oh, I get spotted though. Nashorn coming in. Interesting choice. I mean, what's the rate of fire on this? Not any faster than the Sherman. Actually, it's lower because Sherman is double that. ME410 coming in now. I want to see what they can actually do. Kills a 50 cal carrier, that's decent. Pupchen, oh, finds the Wolverine. Transport going down, by the way, getting sniped. Wolverine going down. I think it's just all breaking apart for Mimile slowly but surely. I think Mimile, Koenig was like having the upper hand, not just in terms of map control, but also in terms of trades for the whole duration of the game so far. And I think now it's just looking worse and worse for Mimile. But both players losing a lot of their units, of course, throughout the game, as it is Maverick versus Maverick, and the amount of total units on the map slowly in decline right now. 122, 149, still going after. There's not even a 122. What am I saying? They're going after this now. Softening is up, eventually enabling Koenig to push here. 25 pounder going out. I'm not really sure what's the plan of this A8, I'm gonna be honest. I guess covering up like everything up here, including this road. Maybe that's the plan. Wolverine coming into the town. The problem is there's Pupchen as Panzerschrecks here. This is such a rough spot to be in for Mimile right now. I'm not really sure how he would respond to that. Baltimore going in after the FG42. I don't even know what Mimile can do at this point. I think at this point, best he can do is try and hope for good trades and then try to get back into the game. But the problem is the time is running out. And it's not like he's going to get a 15-9 super easily. Unless Koenig trades really badly, which is very unrealistic. So, and I'm also not even sure what Mimile could have done earlier to stop that. Maybe investing a bit more into one area on the ground instead of all the planes and artillery. I think that is what might have been happening here. He's softening up this again, but he doesn't really have the units to follow up, which is a bit of a problem. But he can definitely stop a push, and that's already worth a lot at this point. But he still needs to find a flag somehow to make some ground himself. Nasani versus Sherman looks also like the Sherman and a 50k. The Sherman here. It was only Sherman at the end of the day. In the end, got killed off as well. Nasa won't get the first shot off. Sherman needs to aim. Nasa will probably get the first. Oh. Sherman actually gets another shot off too. I mean, its stabilizers are insanely good, but still gets killed by the Nashorn. Didn't expect the Nashorn to be performing up close like that. Definitely did not expect that. More here getting pinned, so this flag soon to flip. It's 12-12 again, but the question is for how long, as this flag will probably soon flip. This one has flipped. There's not really much here that's preventing Koenig now from actually pushing back on the hill here. He's actually firmly secured this. This is if you trade him, if with these like if these aggressive incomes later on, it actually becomes increasingly easy to push across again. If you play balanced unbalanced, it is a true pain. Now, it is not super different because both players just have, you know, as your opponent can still defend or invest more into his defense, as you can also invest more into your offense, but I feel like it is a little bit harder for all. Oh, another transport getting sniped by the Panzer up here. Panzerschreck moving in. Gonna kill off that Wolverine. He's trying to kill off the Wolverine. FG42 could probably also move forward and do it. Wolverine can't shoot at everything with the 50 cal, that's the issue. It's falling back now, but that brings his flag to Mimile, to Koenig. Sorry, I'm doing a terrible job at this. And Koenig surrenders. Very reasonable. Mimile surrenders. Damn it. Seriously, what's going on today? After 39 minutes, 15 seconds, very well deserved win there by Koenig. He didn't actually outtrade Mimile that hard. It just looked like that to me. But maybe, no, it's not even because of artillery. Because Koenig had a fair bit of artillery as well. I don't know what it is. I could have sworn that Koenig traded. I mean, there's a little bit of an outtrade, but not like game changing or anything. It's not that crazy actually. Interesting. So I guess part of it is really also just the speed that we saw at the start. Koenig had an easier time getting across, getting into a good position that Mimile really struggled grabbing back, whereas Mimile got into one position that Koenig didn't struggle to get back. And yeah, I think that's a huge part of it. But again, I think maybe the planes and there was a bit too much of an investment early on in planes, maybe, and artillery. Now, the Baltimore actually did exceptionally well. Look at that. Killed a lot of things. That thing definitely paid off. Bofors, the early Bofors definitely did work as well. Now, the 25 pounder and the 107, not that much. They killed things, yes. They pinned things also, yes, but I think that mostly didn't really pin things when actually a push was following. So I feel like they didn't really, at least ones up north probably didn't do that well. The MG42, on the other hand, look at this thing go, wow. Maori also doing pretty decent. One of the Shermans, oh wow. That was the one in the back lines. Didn't even realize he killed an 88. He killed an 88. He killed a Panzerek. He killed an SKF set. Oh, he got the last hit on a Sagittarius. That's funny. And killed the 149. I mean, you don't see that every day. Unfortunately, we didn't see it. But yeah, pretty nuts actually. And then, so I mean, the light armor, for it being light armor, is actually pretty decent. I mean, see, this is what I mean. 10 points, 35 points. Used to be 40. Imagine that trade. Yeah, maybe we kind of missed that. I think that's probably what I kind of missed a little bit about the trades. Maybe that's it. On the other side, let's see. Fallschirmjäger Panzerabwehr. Again, you get a lot of value. M42, good. Decent value. IG-18, decent value. Look at that M42 go. Wow. Wolverine, Stewart, MG42. Nothing to complain there. Another Panzerabwehr doing super well. Koenig really played very well with his bazooka units. He put them in very good positions. He had a lot of them out in the field because he knew how valuable they are, and they did perform exceptionally well for him. Yeah, Fallschirmjäger, yeah, still an absolute beast. I mean, especially if he can go against field engineers, this is true. 149, look at that thing go. Killed 3 25 pounders. That was pretty rough there for Mimile. Tiger Leader, actually, I mean, he killed a Sherman, and the rest adds up as well. That's not horrible. The other 149 just killed 107. More CF, more Panther. Look at these go. Wow, look at that. Yeah, Mimile just lost way too much armor to these. I think he might have needed a little bit more cheap infantry that could just spam around with his armor, because he lost so much of that battle. But anyway, it was a very good game. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, stay tuned for the next one. Have a great day, and see you next time.